Hello, everyone. Welcome. This is Miss Tara D. I don't know if anyone is on. I see Tara Your Way is here. Hi, beautiful. Um, I'm just kind of playing with this today. I have no idea what I'm doing. I just wanted to do dress up and come on. I really felt like Spirit was calling me to just be part of something, but you know how it is when you're working with Spirit. It's very cryptic. You never know what they want. Hi, Scorpio Mama. I'm trying to get Hershe on because she's wanted to join me, but unfortunately, she's not able to click on, and I don't know what to do. So I'm just going to keep futzing around until I can figure something out here. Let me see here. I'm going to also try to email her. Maybe that'll work. This is why I need my producer with me, because they know how to do all of this stuff. They know how to make things happen. They know how to make things work, how to invite people. Miss Tara D is just not really good with all of this kind of ticky stuff. But I'm trying my very best. Okay, I found Hershe's email address. Let me see if I can invite her this way. All right, now I'm gonna. I sent you an email. So for all of you who are watching and you haven't done any of this stuff, you can see that this is kind of complicated. You know, everybody thinks, oh, you just come on, you press a button, you throw some cards, and it's a beautiful thing. It's really not. I think we have her. I think we have her. Okay, ding dong, the bitch is alive. Here she is. Yay.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hi, sweetie.
How are you?
Good. Let me see. Let me turn up my volume because, okay, talk again for me so I can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yes, thank God. So for the rest of you who don't know, the last couple of days, whenever Hershe and I have been together, spirits have been cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. They tore her house up the other night. They wouldn't let her do a reading for me. Last night they were playing games. So now I wasn't gonna say anything because I didn't want to frazzle her or anyone else. But when she's like, oh, it's not working, the link's not working. And then I was like, uh-oh, it's the spirit. And then just now, when I could barely hear her, I was like, uh-oh, is somebody messing around with our stuff again? All right. I need a moment before we start.
Absolutely.
For those of you who've been to my lives, or you know that I always have to do a cleansing. I don't burn incense because that's really hard on my sinuses. So I have the sage spray. It has a crystal in it. It has Florida water, and it's designed. And this is my ritual fan. For those of you who want to do this, if you have a ritual or a feather, only use it for that purpose. Do not take it out to the movies or the theater and fan yourself. This is sacred. So let's just spray it. And I ask all negative spirits and all negative intentions to leave us, and I invite all positivity, positive intentions, and positive messages from our spirit guides. So thank you. And it smells lovely, just so you know. Okay. Hershe, I am so happy that we were able to connect today.
Absolutely. I I was just happy to hear from you. I'm glad when your spirits are lifted. I'm glad when you've got this beautiful energy, and I'm glad I get to share some of it with you.
Yes, yes. And this is what it's all about today. Today I was like,
I'm loving the gloves.
oh, I will tell you the story about these gloves. I am
Love them.
blessed beyond blessed. But I'm really pushing myself more and more towards a road of recovery and healing. So I'm pushing myself to, when I rest and then I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. And then I'm like, no, I have to do it because this is part of my authentic self. And I enjoy doing this and I enjoy doing my face. And, I enjoy putting on a new dress or, a new wig. And, my husband, who we all call the producer, he literally takes the time out of his day because he's an artist and he sells his artwork in the city every weekend. And he'll take the time out of his work to come and help me do the pieces that I can't do myself. So, it's very encouraging and motivating. So this is, for all of us who, and it's interesting because the more I've been sharing my cancer journey, the more people have been sharing with me their own medical journeys. Dear friend of mine, she told me she has fibromyalgia, which is very painful. Someone else told me they have lupus. We know Dad, Purple Elephant, has cancer. And by the way, after the video, I'm going to try to put the link. She has a Amazon wish list. So if anybody would like to send something to her through her Amazon wish list, because she's living currently with Angela. How do you say Angela's screaming? Carmani?
Artomancy?
Carmancy, thank you, Hershe. You were meant to be here. Angela's taking care of her. So, they need odds and ends. So she's got a whole wish list. So I'll put the link later on. And I got to tell you about these. Look.
They're beautiful. They're beautiful. I love them.
I am living for them. Okay. These were a gift from PD, and her hammer or her thing on is the Tarot Lounge.
Oh, yeah.
So please subscribe to the Tarot Lounge, PD. She was so generous. All of a sudden, she's like asking me, she said, honey, I don't see you use nails. I said, well, that's because when I shuffle the cards, the nails fly all over the place. So she says, I'm going to send you something. I thought she was going to send me some really great, strong nail glue. It's like, sure, why not? Send me some glue. I can always use. And these beautiful studded gloves came in. Look at these nails. The nails are part of the gloves.
They're so freaking cool.
Aren't they freaking beautiful?
Yes.
So PD,
Cartomancy must be.
If you see this, you made this old broad very, very happy. And the best part is, girls, you don't have to shave your arms when you go out at night.
I don't shave my arms, but thanks for that.
It is going to be a little challenging. I was still with the cards, so I might have to take them off, but that's okay. I wanted to showcase them and say thank you, thank you, thank you.
That's no different than walking in with them real tall 6 or 8 inch heels on and then taking them off as soon as you get there. You just need them for pictures and walking.
Oh, Hershe.
Don't need them for sitting, dancing, none of that. No.
Oh, no. This old broad can dance in some heels, I have to tell you.
I probably could not anymore. I used to, but not anymore. Days are behind me.
Oh, my God. So, Hershe, there's some people who joined us. I'm surprised because we didn't even advertise. So, I think you know this person, Tara Your Way.
I've heard of them once or twice, maybe 3 or 4, 10,000, somewhere in there.
Somewhere in there, right? Yes. And
Absolutely.
yes. And I heard he has one of those boxes that talks.
Really? You don't say.
I don't know. Does your box talk, Hershey?
Occasionally, yeah, and in languages even.
You know, my box used to talk, and at this age, I'm lucky I could get a whisper out of her. You know, the last time she talked, I thought it was a sneeze. Then we have
Oh boy.
Scorpio Mama, I haven't seen Scorpio Mama in forever and a day. Scorpio Mama, I do hope you're well.
Hello, hello.
And then let me see, we're scrolling down. We have Michelle Williams. I think we know her. She's a new kid on the block.
She is. She's been making guest appearance pop-ups here and there. It's very nice to see her.
Has. Yes, and I think she popped her cherry the other night on your channel.
She did.
She did.
So, she did. You know, she did. I get that. I popped her cherry.
You popped her cherry. Yes, she did.
I provided the
platform. Yes, you did. And she did a great job. Michelle, I'm going to tell you, honey, breathe, and relax. The magic is in you. It's not in these cards. They're just pieces of paper. It's all in you. Trust your spirit guides. They will always, always give you the messages you need. Then we have Sharon, Plucky. Oh, she said, what a nice surprise. Thank you, my love. She doesn't know that we're charging $3.99 a minute for this, but, you know, she thinks it's free. But she'll get, it'll show up on her credit card later. Listen, Hershe, I am so old. Some of you viewers probably don't even remember this. Back in the 80s, when computers first came out, you had to attach it to your telephone line.
Mm-hmm.
And we thought it was like the best thing. It took like 3 hours to download a naked picture of a celebrity. And we thought it was wonderful. 3 hours. I got to see a naked picture, you know, of Tom Hanks or whatever. But then nobody told us that we were going to be charged on our telephone bill.
Oh,
do you remember that?
I got into quite a bit of trouble for that damn plugging and unplugging, and I shouldn't have been unplugging and
oh my God. I remember the first time I got a telephone bill, and it was almost $300 because it was connected to the internet. I was like, I was so afraid to use the computer after that. I was like, forget about it. I'll just write people a letter. Tom Hanks can send me his own dirty pictures. And let me look at this. Remember to hit the like button. Yes, Michelle, please hit that like button. It's very.
Oh yeah, dial up was not the shit. It either was a rotary phone, but you know, I don't want to keep telling my age. Although I can tell my brother's age. Like I have a picture of it somewhere. And it's literally the last phone booth before they took the last phone booth out of the capital of Missouri. And my brother just happened to be the one that was using the phone when they snapped the picture. So my brother made the headlines and the front page news that day for the capital city newspaper.
Are you kidding?
I forget, it was some craziness, but it was like a thing of the past or whatever it was, but it was the last phone booth. Every time I showed my brother that clipping because I kept it, he was like, just throw it away, sis. Just throw that thing away.
It's amazing, isn't it? And now when kids see like a telephone booth or something, they don't know what it is. It's like,
don't have a clue.
Yeah.
A little rotary phone.
Well.
What do you do with it?
I mean, you know, Blue Crescent Moon she's just as old as I am. And she'll tell you, when I was a kid, my mother used to put a lock on the rotary phone so you couldn't make phone calls.
Yep. Couldn't.
Your friends can call you, but you can't call them. Do you remember that? We're really showing our age, Hershey.
See, if I was told no and I was at my grandparents' house, I just knew better. I just knew better. I better not answer it. I better not open a door. I better not touch nor open anything that I was not given prior permission for, because it wasn't going down. But I was raised by, when I wasn't in the system, I was raised by my grandparents. So that king and queen raised me old school, and I just wasn't
Mm,
allowed to do a lot of things. But I had the best childhood when I was with them. There was so much
really?
I was allowed to do because I got to just be a kid.
Where did you grow up?
East St. Louis and St. Louis when I was with them. In between the two, we had a place in both spots. They had a farm in just outside of St. Louis, and for the most part, we would be in East St. Louis or at the shop over in St. Louis somewhere. We was just in like a triangle area. They
Oh,
had three
wow.
different places.
Was it a large farm?
It was like 10 acres, but it was just for horses that ran at
Ooh.
the park in Fairmount Park, in Fairmount City. I mean Fairmount Park in East St. Louis. Bleh.
Do you know how to ride a horse?
Of course I do.
Really? Oh,
Yeah, and I know how to castrate a bull too. I know how to build
ooh.
barbed wire fences with put electric on it. I know how to chop
Every
trees
drag
down,
queen
put
across
rakes
the
on them,
country just
get a
crossed the
cherry
lake.
picker to pick an engine up.
Oh my God.
I know how to do a
Yeah,
lot of things.
I don't know how to ride a horse. I've ridden a lot of cowboys, I'll tell you that much, but I've never ridden a horse.
Ooh, I'll never tell on myself on that
Yes.
one. Mm-mm. I know a lot of cowboys, but I ain't telling on myself.
And we have Fatima. I love Fatima. She is, dear Fatima, there's just something beautiful about you. I don't know what it is. But whenever you come into the rooms, everybody's like, it's like cheers, and everybody say, Norm, everybody say, Fatima, you know. And what I love about
You're in my
Fatima
seat.
is she goes to everybody's videos and she leaves comments. So to help them with their algorithm. And that is so important. People don't realize, like, you know, those comments at the end of the video really help the computer algorithms to pick up your channel and put it onto the main page so that hopefully you could get more attraction to your channel page. So
Absolutely.
Fatima, thank you. And I see, because I'm right behind you with that. I'm like, oh, Fatima was here. Now it's my turn. And we're like, Miss Moonlight, how are you, my dear? It's such a great stripper name. Just saying. If you ever want to change fields and make a little extra money, that's a great name. Miss Moonlight, you know? Listen, I hope I'm not causing any harm. I'm just jokes. It's just jokes. Everybody knows. Miss Tara D, she jokes a lot in chat and she jokes a lot in person. We
I can't see you being any other way than the way you are right now.
well, we spoke yesterday. The work we do, many of us are empaths, many of us are connected to the spirit world. And in the work we do, in the lives we live, we open channels, we open portals intentionally and unintentionally. Uh, and sometimes the not so good tends to sneak in. And the not so good doesn't like laughter, it doesn't like love, and it doesn't like cheer. So if we can do this work in a sense of joy, it also helps to protect ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it helps we're also helping our spirit guides to protect us by creating an atmosphere of joy, love, and light, and pushing away the negativity.
Mm-hmm.
Hershe, you work a lot with that other side. What do you think about this?
I don't think I could say it better. Yeah, I work on that side. I don't, where I have to go sometimes there's no light. I have to be the light. I have to carry that light with me, and I have to keep it strong, and I have to keep it bright, and I cannot be dull. I can't let my guard down, and I have to pull something that needs me out of that darkness, and I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm the light. I'm the one going in with the light, so I don't mind. It's kind of my thing.
Were you always working with the shadow world, even as a child, or was this something that you grew up into?
I literally was born for this.
Mm.
I've tracked my birth detailedly. Not to mention that, you know, I'm just a Gemini, so I pay attention to everything. Not much slips past me, or, you know, my twin. What I miss, they don't. But I like my birth specifically was a very rare kind of birth. The timing I was born in. I was also born during a retrograde. And everything since birth has been some people would say the darkest of the dark, and I don't see it that way. I just see that I played the hand I was dealt, and I came out the best way I could, and all I can do is continue to give what I know away so that I stay as light bright as I can be and full of hope, because that's all I have to give to anybody is hope, because it's there. You just have to believe. I don't think I was made to be a Barbie or live in mansions, and you know, I don't think that. I don't believe that. I don't even actually want that. Like, that's not my thing. Like, I'd take a tiny house right now or a wet cardboard box and put me in a perfect setting, and you ain't got to never worry about me. Would never see me again, you know. So
She's such a cheap date.
I am. I'm telling you, I have always liked simple things. So it's like
Really.
I like small, dainty rings. I don't like big, gaudy. I used to have big hair. I still kind of have big hair, but it's curls. It's natural. There's nothing I can do about it.
I was
But I've just
never
never
into big
been
hair,
big flashy.
you know?
Huh?
I just realized, oh my God, when we said I was never into big hair, I just realized I forgot my earrings. Shame on me. Oh my God. Horrible.
It isn't.
They're going to kick me out of the drag queen
Well, can
union.
you just slip them in real quick?
Can I slip it in real quick? I can always slip
Yeah,
it
of
in.
course. You know, I can do it in seconds. I mean, sure.
They're in the other room. I left them in the other room. I
No.
brought my rings because I
Oh,
said,
well,
if I
now
gotta
you're
pick up
fired then.
stuff,
Damn.
you know,
Well,
hopefully
I would fire you.
and my producer's not watching the show. I wish he was, because then he would have brought them to me already. He tends to keep an eye on me from the
He's been
other
like,
room,
something's missing. I can't put my finger on it. I'm so distracted by that.
right? By the way, if anyone, Jane the Seeker,
Hi, Jane.
that is my sister from another mister. For those of you who do not know,
Love
Jane
you.
is the very, very first channel that I encountered on YouTube. And we
Nice.
instantly became Thelma and Louise. And she, whenever she reads for me, she's always on target. Like, it's scary on target. And what I really, really always loved about Jane, she's one of the few who really focuses on angel work and angel tarot, um, which I never really was. I was never one of Charlie's angels. Um, you know, I'm a spiritual woman, but to me, angels always represented religion and all the
Oh, I totally get it. I don't work with many.
all the angel decks that I saw were these blonde hair, blue eyed type
I don't even
people,
have one.
and I
Yep.
was like, and then I started watching Jane, and she just had alternative decks with different types of angels,
She does.
and she taught me so much about them and how they're really there as part of our spiritual journey and not a religion, which I was like, okay, I like you, I like what you're talking about. And
Right,
you
right.
know
Yeah, she's got some pretty cool ass decks. I can't lie.
yeah,
I don't own an angel deck. Like, I don't even own one. And she's got a couple of them. When I know she's gonna be using them, I'll be like this. Like, man, what is going on? Why do I like that?
oh my God,
Like,
yeah.
what's happening? I definitely understand. And she's got these amazing 19 angels that come in like instantly as soon as
Like
she
that.
falls. Like,
Yes.
they just line up in like a pyramid behind her, and
Yes.
it's like they are not your everyday angels, guys. I mean, these are soldiers. Like, one of them's got 3 faces, one of them's got like 10,000 swords, another one's got like like this thing that looks like it comes like a, have you ever seen Men in Black? You know that thing, that cabbage head thing that came out of the back? Look, she's got some that don't have no face. Like, I'm thinking, oh my God. But you got to have those kind of angels to go against the kind of angels that I fight. And I fight reaping angels and reaper angels, and those are nice. I don't care what people think. I work against them. They're not nice at all. You know, you want those kind of angels on your team. And the fact that they just show up, and Miles is always like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Every time 19, every time 19. He loves it. So yeah, she is incredible.
Yeah. And so, and she actually gave me my very first angel deck, and it's a very modern looking deck, and it has all types of different cultures in it. I love it. And I actually use it.
I was gonna say, you'll have to show it off.
Everything's in the other room in this house. If my producer's watching,
she gave me 2 minutes to be ready. You hear me? 2 and 2. I had 2 and 2. You hear me? She hit me with the 2 and 2.
It took me 2 hours to get this look together. Something was about to be missing. Oh my God. Listen, room, if any of you have any questions for Hershe or myself, please ask. And I know Michelle Williams right now, she said, Hershe, I'm making myself a captain in a Coke. I just told Todd, if he's still here, he can't have any of my Coke. I don't know what kind of Coke she's talking about. But PD,
I promise it's brown.
with his very long nail. You know, Grisilla, whatever her name was. Listen, we don't judge in this room, honey.
She's talking about a rum and Coke. It's a drink, but
is that what she's talking about? Sure she is. Scorpio Mama is laughing. She knows.
I know. We all know. We're talking about a drink.
No wonder the bitch got to move. The popo's after her.
It's a good thing I can't reach my bong right now, because I'm telling you right now.
Listen, Michelle's moving. The popo's after her, honey. That's why. You know?
Well, then I guess we both got the same problem. Only mine is weed, and I guess that's my problem too.
But weed is it's legal here in New York.
You don't say.
Yes. The 4th floor of our building, I swear, every apartment on the 4th floor smokes. When the elevator comes up, you get a
there's some stank up there.
Yes.
Ooh, I bet that East Coast is nice.
Blue Crescent Tara put 2 pigs. Is that me and you? I'll take it.
Well, I would have preferred like a purple anything, but okay. 2
she
pigs.
Says I'm a pig. I'm a pig. I love it. I haven't been a pig since my 20s.
Michelle is a nun on the run.
None today, none tomorrow.
Oh, Thomas, you're going to be in trouble for that one.
But anybody in the room, if you have any questions for me or Hershe, feel free to ask. Whether it's spirit related, tarot related, drag queen related, whatever you want to ask. This is an open forum. You got the 2 thickest skinned bitches on YouTube. You can ask us anything. We do not get insulted. Pretty
much. Just be prepared for the answer. That's all I can tell you. Just be prepared.
I watch some of these RuPaul shows, and the girls start getting a little catty, and the minute it gets flipped on them, all of a sudden they want to run out and cry. I'm like, honey, why? You knew this was going to happen. Apparently you're not.
Joy, where's the energy you had just a second ago? Bring that back. I'm gonna need that same energy.
And apparently you're not a New York City bitch because they will cut you with their tongues, by the way. Kind of like, swords in the tarot deck. It's all about the tongue and communication. That's how I learned the swords, by the way. I used to think of, oh, yes, this is like what drag queens do. We cut each other with our tongues, right?
Yep.
It's all about communication and things. It's interesting how you tend to learn tarot by relating it to things in your life and the different suits. And
yeah, we're literally the
isn't that
definition of our
amazing?
own tarot decks. That's why I have so many, because there's a lot of different ways. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you have.
All the flavors and colors. I see a couple of beautiful questions. Miss Moonlight started it off. She kicked it off.
What did she say? To read it, Hershe, read it. What did she say?
Says, what is your favorite tarot?
Ooh, for you or for me?
I'm assuming you put the question out there. So she's saying, what is your favorite tarot? Then Linda says, what is black and white and black and white and black and white? Oh. Life? Oh, my bad. Pages, letters on a paper. That's a good question.
That's a very good question.
Miss Moonlight, what is your favorite tarot deck, Miss Tarot D?
So my number one favorite tarot deck is called the Divine Diversity deck. I have a trunk in my bedroom where I have over 50, between 50 to 75 decks. So everything is in there. I cannot carry everything here, but the Divine Diversity deck, what I loved about it is it was created by a queer artist, Joe Phillips.
Nice.
Wonderful, wonderful man. We've since become really good friends. And it has a lot of inclusivity and diversity in it. That's what I fell in love with. And what's really precious is he used his mother as the inspiration for the Empress card. And it's so lovely. So lovely. So that is actually, and some of you might have seen me use it on my videos. It's a purple deck, which also had me really drawn to it. So the Divine Diversity. And then currently the deck that I'm really, really using a lot is called the Awakening deck. And it's also very inclusive. It almost feels like the Modern Witch deck, but it has, whereas the Modern Witch is primarily female, gender non-binary. The Awakening deck, it's more spectrum where it comes to gender identification and things like that, and just different body shapes, body sizes, so a big bone girl like me can see herself in some of the cards. But those are my two favorite decks. Yes.
Wow. I don't know if I have one favorite RWS because there's such a blend of me. If I had to say just off the top of my head what's walking out of this house, if I was literally like everything was on fire, I'm taking my Thoth. I'm not leaving here without my Thoth deck. I'm just not. I'm not. So I would have to say probably my Thoth, my ultimate dream deck would be a greenback. That is like next to never unless I hit the lottery or some shit. But for Oracle, see, that's just a whole lot of me. But for Oracle, I don't think I have one. I would have to claim an artist, and I would have to, and it's the work. It's not the person, right? It's the work they put into their decks, right? So I would have to say it would either be the Blind Spot or almost any Colette Baron Reed Oracle deck when it comes to just finding positives and negative situations.
I like that. I don't think I've ever seen the Blind Spot. Is that the name of the deck?
Oh, well, check in on a Wednesday. I use it
Yeah.
almost every other Wednesday somewhere. It's literally called the blind spot. It's a sigil deck. There's literally nothing to it. It's sigils that you can set around and use like you would any other kind of sigil, a witch sigil, a rune, or but it's all about your blind spots. It's the spots you can't see within yourself.
Yeah. Oh wow. Fatima's leaving. So Fatima, love you. We have a bunch of whole new people. Ben Ryan is here. And he knows everybody. He's a chatterbox. He's just talking to everybody. I love people like that. Linda Bishop came in. Oh my God. She wrote, what 3 things would you grab if your house was on fire? Hershe, what do you think?
Well, I mean, I wasn't joking when I just said that. I would probably grab my Thoth deck. I would definitely grab Ella, my doll, and probably 9 times out of 10, I would grab my weed. And my, I mean, I'm just being honest.
Listen, no, this is
I live in a legal state, y'all. So I mean, don't you throw stones at me too, but I hope you don't live in no glass house.
No.
So, but yeah, that would probably be the 3. Everything else is replaceable. I know that sucks, but I cannot replace my Thoth deck, and I cannot replace my medicine. And what was the other thing? I forgot what I said. What was the other thing?
You said your weed, and your weed.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, well then that's fun to know.
Yeah. Miss Moonlight is she's gonna take her cat carrier and her 2 cats. Yes.
Perfect.
Always important. You always
right now, so
that's what I think. You know?
Yep.
Always grab your pussy. It's very important.
If I had, living things to care for, that'd be different. But at this point, it's just me solo. So.
But it's interesting. So because we use a lot of public transportation in New York City, most New Yorkers have backpacks that we put our stuff in, that we travel on the trains and the buses for the day. So I have a backpack, a bigger one, and then I have a smaller one, and then I have a dainty one that I use during the weekends. And all 3 packs have a tarot deck in it.
Good shit.
So yeah, so it's like, and all of them, by the way, also have a battery for your phone to plug in. It has a rechargeable. All of them have one because in New York, you never know where you're going to be able to plug in or not, and you don't want your phone to die.
Right.
I have that one of those little foldable supermarket bags, because here they don't give you bags anymore, so you need to have your own little shopping bag.
Okay.
And what else do I usually keep? That. And each bag also has $20 in it in case of an emergency and I need $20 cash. So whatever happens, you just grab the bag and you run.
Right.
So I would grab my bag, grab my little doggy. I don't know how many of you have seen my little doggy, Sonny. He's such a blessing. And probably have to take my producer too, but he'll probably be out the door before me. He'll be like, I thought you were sleeping. I figured I'd let you sleep. Oh my God. Then we have a bug out bag. Great idea. Oh, see, carry your way. See, thank you. Oh, here comes the producer.
I was waiting for you to say me.
He said he was waiting for me to say him. He's been watching in the other room.
Oh no. I was like, I didn't see his comment. Where's he at?
I know. He just ran in. He's like, I was waiting for you to say me. Oh my God. So I think
Ben asked a question too.
What was it?
It's at 457. It says, "Do yourselves as any characters cards from the Terra." I, like, do we see ourselves as? I think that's. Is that what he's trying to say?
Ooh, yes. Huh. The chatters in this room today are really profound, aren't they?
Well, there's some damn good questions,
Very, yeah. Hmm. Who
Are
do
you
you?
making me go first again? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm having.
Damn. You know what? I I don't think I could make one. I honestly I don't. I can't pick one part of my life that overrates or levels above any of the others. I would say the day of my child's birth, but I've got two children, so I can't, you know what I'm saying? So that would
Yeah.
be two different days right there. And that would give me the right to two different cards, you know what I'm saying? But I I don't know. I stopped doing labels and shit like that. So I see me in every single one of them. It would be more like the heavier, the darker my deck is, probably the more of me I see in it versus like my Chris Ann's or something where I see me, but like 10 or 15 cards will go by before I'll be like, yep, that was what it was for me. Or, you know what I'm saying? Where if I'm in the Marielle or if I'm in the Raven's Prophecy or if I'm in Abyss or if I'm in Cthulhu or something like that, then bam, bam, bam. So
Mhm.
I'm in every single card. So I don't think I could pick one. I don't have one favorite. I have one that's the worst ever, but not a favorite.
Ooh, which one would be the worst ever?
Oh, the three of swords. To me,
Mhm.
that's the worst card in a Terra deck. It's worse than any of the other ones.
Really? So, you know what? I agree. I used to agree with you. How do I say this? I used to feel the same way.
Mhm.
I actually saw the three of swords worse than the tower card. And then I was talking to a friend of mine, um, and I said, I don't understand why threes are all about expansion. I just couldn't get the concept of expansion with the three of swords. And
Mhm.
how she put it, she said, well, that's because it deals with a trauma and you are growing out of that trauma towards your healing. So you are opening up, you're expanding
You're
your
ripping yourself apart.
psychological and your emotional being,
Mhm.
uh, to work through that trauma so that you
Absolutely.
can move on to the
Yep.
fours.
Yep. It's the worst day of your life. You're ripping yourself apart so that you can begin to heal. So for me, that's the worst card in the whole deck. It's
Exactly.
the worst, but it also starts the healing process because the wounds is where the light enters. So if you don't rip yourself apart and get them wounds open, light will never get there. It will never heal.
Exactly. It's similar to the death card. Everybody, when they see the death card, they get scared. But if you don't go through the transitions,
Sure.
you'll never grow, and you'll never move beyond of yourself. Is
Mhm.
somebody talking to us?
Miles said, "Oh no."
Oh
He
no,
just caught me off guard. I didn't expect him to come in and be like, "Oh no, it's Taro D." He got excited.
he's such a charmer. That spirit.
He's turning purple and he's blue, so that's kind of good. You made him
Oh,
blush.
we're blood. Yeah, I agree with you too. I really there's not one particular card uh, that I favor because I think it depends where we are in our lives,
Mm.
where we resonate in that particular time.
Right. Yep. So you have a favorite? It just changes every day?
Yeah,
Oh, good shit. I like that.
and sometimes you look at them and you're like, wow, I never noticed about this, or I'm just resonating with this particular card a little different.
Mhm.
However, I will tell you something. When I'm looking to buy a deck, the cards that I always look at first is the the Death card, the Devil card, and the Hermit. I
Okay.
have to like all three of those cards in that deck before I purchase them. And on my computer, I actually have a folder for each Death, Devil, and Hermit, and I'll find different pictures of them and just put. And I have little collections, just because I like to see how different artists portray those three cards. Yeah. Hershe, are you okay?
Yes, I am reading back through the
Oh,
comments. So very last comment says Mary Thornberry says, I am not trying to be a downer, but would like an answer to the sad question if possible. So I was looking for
does she mean which card makes
question.
us sad?
Well, right. Or I was looking for, did she put a question in here that I may have missed? I'm not the best with comments, y'all, but I'm doing it. I'm doing it and
Oh,
doing
there
it
she is. She wrote.
and doing it. I'm getting my LL Cool J on.
She
Oh
wrote.
yeah, to the black and white and the black and the white and the black and the white. They said that's a nun rolling downhill. But I'm a little late, y'all, but I'm still here. I'm always a little fashionably late.
So Mary wrote,
See
my
a sad question.
grandson, 14 and 15, lost their mother last weekend. They have never been close. She has not been part of their life. She died of an OD. Will they process this or will it bring them problems? So I'm so sorry. Our deepest condolences, Mary. I mean, I don't really think we need to do a reading with cards. I mean, regardless of whether she's a parent has been part of your life or not, they're still a parent to a child. And obviously, they're going to go through their feelings. They might not share their feelings with you, they might not make them obvious, but they're going to go through their own process. So whether they're going to process this or not, yes, they're definitely going to process it. Um, how they process it, they're going to do it in their way. And I guess your role, Mary, is to just be there and keep communication open for them and let them know you're there, as you've always been. I think they really see you as a mother and not a grandmother. And I think they really know that if they need to, you're going to be available to them. So I don't know if that helps. I don't know if you're asking spirit a question regarding your mother or not. It almost reads like a yes no kind of question. They are going to process it. They're going to need open communication and a lot of support and love, whether she's been in their life or not. And it's a horrible death. It's a horrible death when someone dies tragically like that, or because of drugs or alcohol.
Can I tell a story?
Yes, please.
Oh, the best way I can answer that question is to tell you a story of a life experience that I had for myself. I was approximately that age when I lost someone, not a parent, but somebody to an OD. Somebody that I loved desperately because I didn't have parents in my life. Okay. I had grandparents and I had the system and foster parents and group homes, DYS. So for me to look at an older person in the eyes of a figure like a mother or an aunt or whatever, that role for me at that time was detrimental being that age because I didn't have that solid foundation, right? I lost them to an overdose. All I can tell you is that I was numb for many years. I acted like it didn't bother me. I just let it roll off my back. I became sheltered even more than what I was. I stuffed my feelings deep in my pockets. I didn't talk about it. I let it turn into something that it took me many years to work through. But what I can tell you is that I had to go back to that energy of being in there, and I had to work through the grief, and I had to work through the anger, and I had to give ownership, and I had to give the names properly to what I have held in emotions. I wish I would have went through it better as a teenager, but I didn't push myself enough. It was just easier to shove it in my pockets. But being grown and in my 40s, I was like, oh, I can do it now. It was probably harder than what it would have been had I went and got counseling, or if I would have just talked about it, found some kind of laughter, some way to carry that memory in love instead of in pain. So it's just my personal opinion, but I wish I would have had a parent to put me, or anybody to put me in counseling or therapy, or just somebody to talk to that lost a parent, because when I lost mine, it was a little easier because we were all grown. So maybe just talking to people that have in similar situations will help. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, grief is such a personal journey, and everybody deals with it in their own way.
Al-Anon. That was the name I was thinking of. Al-Anon. Yeah, Maruda got
There's,
it. Al-Anon.
there's some very good suggestions in the chat. So, yes. Thank you, madam, for putting that out there for Mary. And I know Michelle Williams last night, she had asked for a reading. Michelle, I had you start. Did you have your question for today? Is she still with us, or did she leave us?
Well, she was sipping a while ago.
I think that gummy might have gotten to her. Tarry your way. Give them the offer of counseling if they want to take it, to take the help, and let them up to them. Yes. Thank you, Thomas. Mm-hmm.
Michelle says she has no questions. She was just waving. From what it looks like, she was just waving at everybody.
Okay. All right. It's a shame, Michelle, because, Hershe and I, we charge a lot of money for readings, so you could have gotten one for free. But it's okay. It's okay, girl. It's okay. Oh, my God. Hershe.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
So we've been on for, what is it, an hour? Is that how long we've been on?
52 minutes.
Wow.
And 52 seconds. 52, wow. 52.
And I'm sorry, I keep getting distracted by the chat because I'm so used to
let that be a distraction away. It's all good stuff in there.
Really? The chatters?
Best gems and chatters ever. Trust me, I know. I love spending time with them.
They're very supportive and very caring,
They are incredible.
Yes.
They are incredible.
And
they are so inspiring to someone like me. They have no clue how much clout they have in my life. Yes. I praise them daily. They just don't realize it.
All the time. So, Miss Moonlight said, have to do this regularly. This is great. Oh, thank you, Miss Moonlight. And Hershe,
I did this Friday. I enjoyed just Q&A Friday. I mean, come on, we're being honest here. We're all grown. We all know we can read. We've all had reads by us. Oh, I love the cup.
My producer just brought this in for me.
Oh, is it sip time? Okay. So, I enjoy just, pieces of us getting to know each other, I'm constantly, I tell everybody everything. Ask me anything you want. Just be prepared for the answer. So
yes.
I don't have a problem with being a authentic open book. Like I've got some nasty, ugly shit back there, but we can talk about it. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I
Mhm.
enjoy it once in a while. It's nice to get a break.
Yeah, and it's amazing because was it 2 weeks ago? I was chatting with someone who I met online, and they told me they had never. I was the first queer person they ever met, and the first drag queen that they ever met.
Holy shit. Where have they been?
Well, in parts of this country, are very isolated. I'm sure there's queer people everywhere, but
I was gonna say
there's
that.
communities where people can't come out or can't be themselves, or
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess I see what you're
the
saying.
Bible belts.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
a
No,
very
you're right. You're right. I see. I don't. My that was my aneurysm side, the right side. It just sits there and goes buffer, buffer, buffer. Cannot compute. Cannot compute. Cannot compute.
but I
Like that
was
doesn't make sense to me. What do you mean they can't be themselves? They can't. But I do actually know what you mean. Yes, my
yes,
lady.
yes. So and I said, what a blessing it is that we have such a beautiful tribe that we all found each other. Uh, where because I've heard people who are into magic, who are Wiccers, who are pagans, or santeros, santeras, or do hoodoo, voodoo. They can't be themselves in their communities, so they have to turn to their online support system, their online tribes like this, where they can feel part of something
Mhm.
outside of themselves. And it's like it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing that we
It,
can
it
do
it
this.
really is. I was in a really crazy spot. Like I was when I found Brian. I found Brian Blushing Nerd Tarot first through Simon, the Hermit's Cave, and literally from Brian, I've trickled down and I have met everybody up to today through this route. But where I was at, I had just found out that my brain had been having a slow drip for
Mhm.
4 months. This November will be 2 years ago. So it's been a little over a year ago, almost a year and a half ago. And I didn't have one, but two aneurysms. So it was my last ones to date so far. So I was in a real bad place. Like I didn't want to go to doctors no more. I didn't care. Like I was so tired of surgeries and angiograms and procedures and infusions and needles in my neck and more metal in my brain. Like I'm at a point now where they can't hardly put any more metal because literally, I mean, I'm running out of room on one side. Like, can we have aneurysms on the other side? I'm not speaking it into existence, but you know what I mean? It's like I was in a really bad spot
Sure.
and I'm not in that spot anymore. And it's because I found out that somebody else, maybe not being there, but had been somewhere similar,
Mhm.
and they were inspiring to me. And
Mhm.
watching people that have been doing other things that where they're literally fighting for their life, and they're still here. It was inspiring. So I found a reason to go to the doctor again and go ahead and do the not one but two but three brain surgeries. And
Mhm.
now it's been almost 2 years, so I'm
Wow.
just glad. I'm glad I found this community right here because I don't know where I'd be.
Yes, yes. I mean, everyone in this community, they really helped me during my whole cancer journey. There were days the only thing I could move was my finger. And I
Mhm.
would just have my mouse, and my finger would just scroll and click, scroll, and that would be my day because I had no energy and I was too sick to do anything else. And I would just click on different people's channels and I would read what they were writing and listen to the readings. And it took the loneliness away and it took away the isolation and it took me out of my illness, just hearing and being around other people's journeys. It took me out of my own illness. So, I mean, yes, totally agree. And there's days when I tell you I'm just too tired. I just can't.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Uh, it's a fatigue. I don't even know how to explain it. It's just a deep fatigue down to the core of your bones.
Oh yeah, no, I can
And
relate. I'm
you could sleep 20 hours and still wake up so tired from it.
exhausted.
Yeah, it is.
I totally can relate. Yep.
Thomas wrote, I worked a retail job with my partner, but in a different position. The nice thing was Jehovah Witness manager, right? I hope that's Jehovah
I
Witness,
believe it's right.
was leaving, and she confided in me saying we changed her mind on gay people.
Oh,
Beautiful. See that?
I love. So I grew up. Okay, so not many people know this, but I my uncle is Jim Flint, and I've grown up around this my whole life. Like my uncle owns the Baton in Chicago, and I grew up around queens and queers or gays and just this lifestyle. You know, the talking shit, the craziest shit ever. This is so normal to me. This is like talking to somebody that is a friend of my uncle's. You know, it's very common for me. I've met some amazing queens. Let me tell you, I'm not going to list the names, but if you've ever been to my uncle's shows or his club, then you already know I have met some amazing queens. And man, I'm telling you, you guys have literally sometimes changed my entire life and logic and helped me laugh through some of the worst parts of it.
So, Hershey, thank you, because when you said amazing queens, I don't know if I ever publicly thanked uh, HarmonicaSunbeam for this wig.
Oh,
Harmonica, thank you so, so much. I love it. Everybody loves it. It's beautiful. HarmonicaSunbeam is an international star. She travels the world. She's an actress, a comedian. Um, she's done so much. She's a singer. She's got some great songs out there. Um, and not, she's also, what's the word? Not a philanthropist. About someone who just very good with her heart. She's one of the original drag queen story hour readers, where she goes to the libraries and she reads for children and their families in drag, all over the tri-state area. And she's wonderful. She's wonderful. And she's been a friend of mine for years. And I had seen this wig and I told her I loved it. Next thing I know, she's knocking on my door with her little baggie.
Oh,
You know,
beautiful. I love the lily. Like as soon as I saw it, I was like, "Oh my god, lily!"
I have to say, I was a little disappointed. I thought it was my Uber Eats, but that's okay. She made up for it.
It's so much better. That lasts for so much longer than Uber Eats.
But you all have to check out HarmonicaSunbeam. When I finish the video, I'm gonna go through and edit and try to put things in the description for PD and her channel for these beautiful gloves and harmonica and Hershe. I think everybody knows you, but I'll put your link in there as well. And if anybody wants to put their link in my chat, feel free. This is a great way to people to come to your channels, get to know who you are. Because I'm seeing some names here I've never really met before. Marjorie, I don't know if we ever really met. I think I met Andrew once or twice somewhere.
Yeah, there's a couple of them that I'm like, really? Hi, how are you?
Yeah. Madam, I think, is this the first time we're meeting? Or
That's Maruta. Madam Maruta.
Oh, she changed her thing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Maruta. Yeah.
I love her original name, Maruta, but now she changed it. Okay.
Madame Maru.
All right. I thought I was the only madam in the house, but that's
Well, I mean, I've been a madam for a couple of clubs before. Does that count? No. Had to make sure everybody was ready.
yes. I've known Maruta. I think I met you the first time. Was it at oh, was it Dr. Mystico's channel? Is that where we met?
I
By
love
the
her
way, if
channel.
anybody is interested, Dr. Mystical is a wonderful, wonderful tarot reader.
Yes, yes.
I enjoy the way he reads.
I do too.
And if anybody's ever trying to learn how to start up a channel where you people can, you know, make a little donation for a read, and he also reads for free. He has a nice little setup. I learned a lot from watching him and how he reads and how he interacts with his people.
Yeah,
And
him
he,
and T.O. are my two probably favorites. Like, I love their channels. They have me cracking up. I be cracking. And not to mention, I'm a big winner always when T.O. does his giveaways. Like, I don't even realize it'll be a giveaway day, and I'll be like, shit, I'll pick a random number, and I'll be like, I won for real? What?
yeah, yeah.
I've got like 3 or 4 decks, a couple of books. I'm like, I ain't mad, though. I love it. He is a hell of an artist. I love it.
Yes. I actually bought his deck, TL's deck. I love his little.
Oh, which one? I've got the waterfalls.
The
I've still got to get
waterfall.
the tasty. I won that in a giveaway.
Oh,
I won one. Yeah,
yeah.
I won that one of them. But I gotta get the tasty tarot. I gotta get it. I gotta get it. I need to get in his shop. I gotta get it. I'm tripping. I keep forgetting to get it. I gotta get it.
I used to so Andrew says that he used to moderate at another stream. Okay, Andrew, whose stream was that? And is that how you and I met? I want to say something naughty, but I have a feeling the producer is watching, so I don't want to get in trouble.
You're trying to get me like kicked out and like you don't think I'm a bad influence.
See, so Maruta, it was, and I hope I'm saying your name right. That's how I've always said it. I just love your name.
He said, yes, Miss Tarot D, we met on T.O.'s stream.
Ah, there we go. Well, welcome to our stream. I hope you subscribe and become a regular. I love it. I love it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So,
absolutely. Do you have moderators to put links in?
Do I have? I think so.
Okay.
I'm learning, just so everybody knows, I'm learning this whole focaccia thing.
I know that we can't see it from this side, so that's why I was asking.
But if I go to my YouTube channel, I think I had added some people as moderators. Do they pop up or no? Are they here? Maybe they left.
Oh, I don't know.
I think Jane was a moderator. Yep, she was, but I think she left.
She's with her mom. That is so beautiful. Yeah, I'm so jealous. She's in California.
Yes, I think I think Heather was a moderator, but she's not here.
Well, I am, but I'm here, so I can't mod for you, obviously.
Okay, so I'm going to have to learn later how to add more mods.
Well, I don't know exactly how to do it unless like the chat is done, and then I just go back through the chat and I'll hit the chat and they'll be like add as a mod. But I have to do it after the chat like goes down and then comes back up after the live stream.
Yes, I'm gonna have. Yeah, I don't know how to do it either, and I don't want to throw everybody out. But we are coming towards an end for now. Hershe, any pressing information, anything special that your spirit guides or you want to share?
You know, earlier today, me and my team, we were thinking and brainstorming and doing our thing that we always do. And a family had come through that needed to cross. And they had a message for everybody that I came in contact with. So I guess I'll go ahead and I'll pay that forward. I was going to save it for tomorrow for meta message, but I'll go ahead and I'll pay it forward right now since it seems appropriate. If you're going to succeed in life, you have to remember how you got to where you found yourself, seeing yourself moving forward. Don't forget what got you there. Hold on to everything that you lost or that you thought you were losing so that everything you had left was everything you need to go forward. So let go of things, let them go. If it's meant to be there, it's not going anywhere. Stop suffocating it. Let it breathe. Therefore, you can breathe.
Wow.
Something like that. I was going to grade that door together, but it was something like that. But
Wow,
that
was beautiful. Well, look at, you know what? I'm sorry. I was going to end it with that, but then, you know, you mentioned the devil and she
You
popped her head.
spoke
Look who
them
came up.
up.
It's
Oh,
HarmonicaSunbeam herself.
it's so nice to meet you.
Hi, my love.
She does such a good job in that Lily. Chef's kiss.
Harmonica, I've been telling all of our guests about how wonderful you are and, you know, how you're an international superstar and also your charity work with, you know, the Drag Queen Story Hour. And I also know you do a lot of fundraisers for, you know, different ALS and things like that. And you are truly, truly an angel on earth, and you have been a sunbeam in my life. I have to say that you really have.
Sounds
So
like a sunbeam.
you know, Jane is back. So Harmonica, thank you, my love. I love you so much, and thank you for this gorgeous wig. And look at these gorgeous gloves I got the other day. They're gorgeous. I'm gonna have to get her a pair.
They're going to look fabulous, darling. Fabulous.
So at the end, I'm going to edit this and I'm going to make sure we have Harmonica's link, you know, so if people want to follow her, you know. And then the producer now that we're ending the session, everybody's popping in. Oh, look at this. We have the producer, Hector Rico Design, who,
I
by
saw
the way,
him. I was just reading that. You're very welcome. You're very welcome.
He's the creator of all this beautiful artwork that you see behind me. And he helps to produce the show.
I have got to get me a piece of that masterpiece.
Oh, look at this. He resonated with the message you said, Hershe.
Oh.
We appreciate it. And Deanna, Shield Maiden, Tara, welcome, my love. I sent you a link in your email, so I don't know if you want to pop in. I would love to have you for a couple of minutes. I don't know how to do a moderator while we're doing this. I'd have to end the show and start all over. But look, Deanna, look. Let's see if I sent her the link. I hope she can come in.
I thought I just read something about her hair looking a mess or something like that.
Your hair is looking, girl, I know.
Well, I mean.
Oh, she said I look terrible. I doubt she looks terrible.
I just walked in the door. I would pop in, but my hair is a mess.
I totally understand that. Okay, so I was gonna do this. I'm gonna talk a little bit about now, but then Deanna and I are gonna have a show probably next week or the week after, because I did want her to introduce. I received a little gift from her She has her own website where she creates spiritual oils and things of that nature. And in the mail, I received this cute little bag. This is magic. And in it was this personalized oil from her website that she sent my way. And with it, she sent me instructions on how to use this oil.
Interesting.
And if she was on today's show, I would have gone through it together with her and you, but I'm going to wait till her and I do it because, you know, people, so many of us have websites and we do things, candles, whatever. And so many of us are like, oh, I can just go by my own. I can go do this.
I was just looking, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm definitely low. I'm almost out of my lily water and my Sprite juice is out. I'm gonna have to see what kind of stuff what she does. My cousin made those, but I'm always shopping around for good oils.
And what makes it special is she handcrafts these and makes them individually for you. So you would tell her what you need or what you're looking for, or
check that out.
In my case, she left it up to Spirit, and Spirit said, "This is what Miss Tara needs," and she wrote everything that Spirit said. So this is not like when you're buying something on Amazon or Tumi. You are genuinely buying this from a spiritual person who uses their deviation and their connection with Spirit to create these lovely oils. So that's just a little promo. I would love to do another session with her where she can really showcase some of her products because, I mean, they're lovely. And I haven't even used this yet because I really wanted her to guide me through it as I meditate and fuse with it so that when I use it, I get all of the blessings. So, Deann, I'm going to just hold on to this until we can do this, and we'll do it live on the channel. So, you know, when people then can go to your website and buy their oils or their products, and they know what to do and how to do it. Jane wrote, "I always anoint my third eye." Yes, yes. Yes. So, Miss Moonlight wants to know if there's a cat-friendly line. I'm sure there is. Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah. And Miss Moonlight, I think what's the thing is because you have contact with Deanna, Shield Maiden, Tara, you can communicate and ask those questions, and because she might not know exactly, like, well, is your cat allergic to this or allergic to that? So you can have a dialogue and really have that oil customized for you and your particular pets. You know, so that's a very good question.
She says she's backstage.
Well, look there she is. Oh.
Hi, ignore me. I got out of the shower and threw on a dress, and so
you were beautiful.
I ran in there and came in the door, and I seen you were on. I thought, oh, I'm going to see if, as long as you guys don't mind, I don't mind.
You are gorgeous, my love.
Well, look at you. I mean, I'm so underdressed.
I'm telling you, I've been down here like.
Don't you know, whenever you're with a drag queen, you'll always be underdressed.
Every time.
Around you.
I go to sleep like this.
Well, Saturday's my only day off, so you know, I just that's the day I'll stay in my pajamas, or I'm not curling my hair, or I'm not doing nothing. So
yeah.
But look at your gloves. I like them. I can see them better now.
Aren't they gorgeous? PD did a beautiful job.
Yes, she did.
Beautiful.
I actually, the producer wants a pair, so we're gonna put in an order. He wants them in gold, and I'm gonna buy a special pair. I'm gonna find out her color for our dear friend who was just on, Miss HarmonicaSunbeam. I think I want to get her a pair. You know, has just a friendship gift. in
Who's Harmonica Sunbeam? I haven't met her.
Oh, she's a friend of mine. She's the one who gifted me this beautiful wig.
Oh, okay.
And she popped in for a little while. She's so busy. She's the hardest working drag queen I ever met in my life. She's forever, ever working. I mean,
I'll
God
have to
bless
go
her.
back from the beginning so I can see her because I was running some errands and came back. And one of those errands where you're like, I hope nobody sees me. I hope nobody sees me. So what do? I jump on air. Everybody can see.
You're beautiful. And Heather came. Oh my God.
Oh, Heather's here?
Heather, all of our dear friends. Like, we were about to finish up, and then it's like the party got started up again. Hey, I'm here. If y'all want to be here, I'll be here.
What was you guys talking about? Were you reading cards or
everything?
We were talking about community. We were talking about how the internet has helped many of us find our tribes where we can relate. How we had one person ask for a reading, so we did ask. We did kind of do an impromptu reading, but she got more support from the community chatters.
Cool.
So that was really what was needed. And then I was telling everybody about the gifts from PD. And then I was telling them about you and how we're going to plan our own video maybe next week. Because I really want to showcase your product and how
we've been working real hard on that. I've been putting I had done an oil for somebody and I think I had 8 different oils. And so, I mean, it takes about 30 minutes to a half hour to make each one that's personal, because you're making it especially for them. And I find out exactly what oils, how many exact drops, what exact crystals, then find out why, send it to you why, so you know what was picked. And it's fun. I like it.
Yeah,
man, that sounds wonderful. It sounds wonderful. I was just literally saying I'll have to see what do you have what all you do have? Do you have pre-mades or is every single one?
We do 3 seasonal oils. Like right now we've got the we've got the psychic enhancement oil with the amethyst crystals and the psychic oils. It smells real good, kind of like a hippie shop or so. It just really smells good. And then we've got I think we got one of the grounding left, and then we've got luck and money. So that's for St. Patrick's Day. Oh yeah, you got that one, and I sent you a list. If I kept it in case you ever wondered what was in it and why and all that.
Yes.
So, but I like those blue crystals. That's blue apatite.
Beautiful. The jar's beautiful.
I
work with a lot of heavier stuff. Do you make heavier things? I've got heavy lily oils, heavy Sprite oils, because I work with creatures that are.
I do a lot of protection oils, some heavy, duty protection oils with black obsidian, and I use these when I made one for my husband for stress and anxiety. He says he loves it, and I make one for me because sometimes I have vivid dreams. Sometimes they're not always good. So I have this by my bed. I have it when I do politics, and I keep it in the car with me. I have one in different places. I put it when I'm seeing my little brother, and I know he's going to dump all his problems. I'm like,
I bought one that had a lot of eucalyptus in it. It was supposed to help with sleep because, with all my aneurysms, it's not always easy for me to stay asleep. I can fall asleep, but psychologically I wake myself up because I'm scared I'm not gonna wake up sometimes. So I found that something that has eucalyptus in it kind of helps keep me asleep. So
this has eucalyptus in it. It has
maybe I was gonna say maybe if you got that, we can talk about some protection and maybe something for sleep.
And this one is good for sleep. The one that's psychic intuition, sometimes I'll put it on my third eye, and it's just got this really the oils that are in it are good for relaxing you, creating a relaxing atmosphere for reading cards. And I anoint my pendulums. I put it on my hands before I read the cards. I put it here, I do
it on the back of my neck, everything. Yep.
We didn't tell you that though, because some people could have allergies. And
Mhm.
so I always tell them if they think they're having allergies, anoint stuff with it. You know, I got 101 ways you can use it that you don't have to put it on your skin. But
Right,
I
right.
have
Yep.
sensitive skin, and it don't bother me. But because of insurance reasons, we have to tell people to use it on their skin at their own risk. Because
Right. Oh no, absolutely. I'm a lupus patient, so somebody like me would absolutely understand and know other ways that I can fan it, use it, or have it without touching me. So
yeah.
I'm very cautious about that too. So yeah, those would have been serious questions that would have came for somebody like me. So yeah.
We've been having fun though with it. It's like been keeping me busy between readings and
Oh, I
shows
bet.
and making oils and
I
you
bet.
know, I've never been so. But it's nice. It's good busy.
It's a
It's
good therapy for you too, I bet, isn't it? Like your own
It's
quiet
like my
time.
own little magic shop.
Yeah.
I was telling Miss Terrell D. I said when I was a little girl, I always said I wanted to be I love bewitched. So I wanted to be a witch, I wanted to be a spy, or I wanted to be a magician. So it's a little bit of everything, doing all this is a little
Absolutely. I
all
love
those
that.
things.
I love it. Just little pieces of you. I love it. I love it. That's the best part.
I still can't levitate that ashtray I tried to when I was a kid, though.
Yeah, you're gonna get there though. You'll get there.
Oh my God! Have a couple of Michelle Williams gummies, and everything will be levitating before you know it.
Oh, I might.
Woo!
Good to know. That's what
Oh
I was
my God!
missing.
Let me tell you, and you will always be my QVC tarot reader. I mean, from the first time I saw you, I was like, I love her. I feel like I'm watching QVC, and that's, you just have that personality, that charm. And then when I said that to you, like you said to me, I would
That's what I
love
wanted to
this,
be.
right? You want to be.
Me and Mom used to watch QVC all the time. My husband would go by, we'd watch the Boyd's Bears. I'm a collector. I collect stuff, get bored with it, then collect something else, get bored. So I was into Boyd's Bears at the time. And here we are with a notepad and a credit card. My husband goes, 2 women with a notepad and a credit card watching QVC. This cannot be good, he told me. But
That
I
sounds
said,
like
oh, I wish
fun.
I could do that, but I'm too old and not skinny enough. But I would love to be able to
You're
do that.
doing it, but you're doing it now, my love, because like it's amazing. And I mean, for those of you who don't know, she has her channel where she does politics, which you get hundreds of viewers for your channel when you do those shows. I mean,
Know how that happened. That was I have just been so lucky to get certain people on with me that have helped me, because I didn't know what I was doing when I first came on. When I first came on, like I said, my phone was between a salt and pepper shaker and a napkin holder, and took me 6-7 hours to download stuff. I thought, how are you people downloading stuff? Takes forever. So I finally got a computer, and now I'm doing a
now
lot
she's
better.
good.
Yeah.
And then on Fridays, you have your paranormal channel, which is one of my favorite channels on YouTube.
Yeah, I just started that because I like politics. I like to see there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Everybody's stressing about politics, but sometimes I felt like my jam, I love paranormal and spiritual things and hearing about that. And so I thought, well, why not do that on Friday? Something fun, something I'm interested in, interview different paranormal people and people that had different experiences. And I like that. And I like doing the personal readings too, because then you feel like you're helping people too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And was it last week we talked about mermaids?
Yeah, we did mermaids.
And these were the 2 decks that I had ordered. But
Oh,
unfortunately, they didn't come in time for our session. But I was able to do some flip throughs. So I posted them up. They're
they're
beautiful,
cool.
beautiful decks. Beautiful mermaid decks.
Yeah, I wasn't sure where I was going to go with that. I got some information and a few videos, and I tell Tanya, I go, I never know when I get into paranormal. I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to say. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. And I have what I'm going to talk about, but I'm learning myself. So with the videos and between the other guests and the subscribers, it's like somebody always has something to say and put in, and it's like you learn some and share some, and I don't know. I like it. It's fun.
Yeah.
True crime is fun too.
I love watching your Fridays. It is so fun.
It's a lot
I'd
of
be
fun.
over here talking on my phone, but watching on my TV. I'll be like that. Yeah, I can't type that. I get distracted. I'd be like, "Ooh, typo, autocorrect." But
Tanya
I
goes, don't
enjoy it.
worry about it. Don't worry about what you're going to talk about. Just get on here and let's just talk. And
I
that's what
like
we
when
do.
you do your numbers too. Like that just fascinates me. I don't
Oh,
know
the
if it's just
numerology?
the connection you have to the deck and your guides. I don't know, but it's like when you zone into the numbers, it's just like that's all my little Alistair Crowley brain just starts seeing numbers and formulas and equations and shapes. And I'm like, wait, slow down, wait, what?
I'm learning numerology, and then I'm going to take a class with PD on manifesting. I figure that's a perfect
Oh,
combination
yes,
for
yes.
doing manifesting to just kind
Oh,
of talk
yeah, I'm here
about it.
for it. I
And then
love it.
I'm going to take the Akashic record class in May. So I'm trying to
Sounds
learn
good.
more and more to make it better, you know,
I
to
work
make
with
my,
Metatron, and I'm scared of that place.
what's
So,
that?
The Akashic Records.
Oh,
so Hershe and Deanna hook up with Jane the Seeker.
okay. I got
Because
a show with her.
she went through, she took an Akashic record course, um,
PD took it last week.
which was amazing. And then I got to be one of the victims. I don't know where the person, not her, but someone else,
Uh-huh.
they did an Akashic reading for me, which is great because they try to mix it up because they want the person not to know the person when they do the reading to get a
Oh,
genuine reading.
yeah.
But yeah, Jane the Seeker is really knowledgeable about it because we've seen people who are like, oh, that's the new fad. I'm gonna just do an Akashic record thing, and it's not just something you do.
Well, what I heard, I
You
knew
need to
PD
really
took
learn.
it and said she took it from Val, dragonfire crystals or dragonfly crystals. She does a class on it. So she had a class with her and I was going to take it, but I was so tired, but I thought I'll get the next one. She said it was really, really good, but I would think if you did that, you'd have to ask that person's permission first, because I would think that you're accessing things that are very personal for them. I don't know that you'd want to do it online, because it may be you don't want to reveal stuff that they might not want revealed, I would assume, and I don't know much about it. I just, when they said Akashic records, I'm picturing there's a library and there's a librarian up there.
Yeah. Well, Jane's in the chat now, and she said uh, we're doing it on the 24th. And then she said, the chat just flipped and my eyes just went, she's been doing it for years. And she said, you must ask first and never do it online. I totally agree, Deanna. So, yeah. So maybe you two need to connect with each other. And
yeah, I think I have a show with Jane.
oh,
It is on the 26th at 6:00. I'm going to be doing a show on her channel, so I'll ask her then. And on the 24th, is that I think that's Val's class, isn't it, Jane? Valerie's class on the 24th. I thought about taking that to learn.
Interesting.
in Hershey, Heather wants to know, why are you afraid of the Akashic records?
It's more of the energy and the contact. I don't understand exactly what it means. I work personally with Metatron and Shekinah. And if they're not pushing me, then I'm not going to push myself, because I hear it's intense and I can absorb a lot of energy, and I'm already radiating on a very high beam when I am connected. So I can only feel that the pressure would probably be intense. I'd be a ball of wetness. It would just be overload, I think, for me. But that's just my opinion. I think it would be overload.
Yeah.
Well, Jane says she's doing a class of her own. It's not Val's thing. So email me, Jane. Tell me if you got any openings still. Because if you do, maybe I can take it if it's not too, terribly high. I'd like to learn. And
Yep.
here's when you do shadow reading. I don't know what that is. I'll have to ask you one day.
Oh,
Oh, I could tell you. It's subconscious reading.
Subconscious reading?
Yep. I dig in through your subconscious and your unconscious, and I see what needs to be worked, changed, or addressed so that your current situation can begin to change.
Huh. Do you do it by cards or do you do it by just channeling, or how do you do it?
I channel, I work with my team, I trust my team, I send my team to basically dig through your entire subconscious. And occasionally I will use a card or two if need be, or I will grab something specifically from, I have a little box of trinkets and stuff, but they have specific meanings. And if there's something specific my team feels or sees in your childhood or your traumatic past, and I happen to have it, whether it be a bowling pin, a soccer ball, a doll, look, it could be a million things. It could be a shiny red ring. Somehow I managed to have something that literally ties to that person and helps them start learning to open their self up to themselves.
Oh. Did you have it done, Miss Tarot D?
yes and no.
Sorry, I shouldn't be asking questions. You're
No,
I'm
you
asking
asked. Listen, Hershe is very open. She's a very strong conductor, if that's the word I can use. And the way she's explaining it to you, it's very PC. Uh, but if you have to watch some of her channels.
Okay.
Because she tends to channel a lot of spirits all at once. It's almost like a floodgate where she has to.
Trance medium. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
some of them are not always friendly. So it's very.
Life isn't always friendly.
Yeah. I think you'd actually be very interested in seeing it because.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out. As long as no bad spirits come near me.
Right.
Oh, no.
And I say yes and no because the other day I just was in chat, and she was going to do a reading. You know how everybody asked for a reading, and when she went to do my reading, her screen kept freezing out. Her cards kept falling all over. It was disastrous. The spirits would not let her read for me.
Not even a little bit.
Not even a little bit. When she moved on to someone else, everything worked out fine. It was
completely my fault. I don't open doors when I'm on a live. I won't do it. I'm a trance medium, so I can't pull one or two energies out for somebody like their grandmas, their aunts, their uncles. If I open a door, it's like a Black Friday sale, and I become Walmart, and they are flooding my gate because they want to cross over. They want to go to the next part of their afterlife, and that's what I do. I cross people to the next parts of their afterlife. And in order for me to open up, I don't have a little one-way gate. Like, it's just a door, and that door opens another door, and then another door, and then another. And eventually I have hundreds, sometimes thousands. If I'm outside, it could be thousands trying to get at me. But for the most part, even when I'm in my contained little corner right here, when I open a door, it's just a flood of them. I literally go soaking wet, usually right on the lives. That's why I have to kind of squinch down because everything gets really wet. And
I gotcha. So not a good live thing to do. Okay.
No. And I do my best not to. And I tried to crack a window the other day, and unfortunately it didn't work. And then somebody else had some other energies attached to them, and they came right on through, and it was just a whole thing. It took me like almost 12 hours to clear and close all the doors and windows and get everybody gone somewhere else, moved on, crossed over, wherever. But it was a whole thing. So I won't do
why. I thought shadow reading was, because I don't know. I just had heard people talking about need to do shadow work. I thought it was like trying to figure out why you have triggers that you have, or like certain things that trigger me to make me angry when. It's like, why did that trigger me like that? Because
that's
maybe
your conscious part of it. Yeah. But it's triggered from something in your subconscious or your unconscious. And sometimes to even get inside them doors, you have to create the chaos, because otherwise you don't realize that your subconscious created an unconscious, and there's doors down there that you don't even know are there, because without chaos, those doors don't open. So you have to kind of stir the pot, so to speak. So
Okay.
it's a very slippery soap, but it's very needed. I'm no different than a therapist or a counselor. I was going to school for it when I started having aneurysms. I was working on my bachelor's degree in psychology, and I like working with the brain, and I like digging in there, and I like turning negatives into positives.
That's why I wanted to be a spy. I wanted to spy.
I've been good at it.
Like digging into secrets.
You would definitely be very good. But the other night, so she had this little pest of a spirit that was preventing this reading from happening. And then the following day, but apparently, you know what? My spirit team, my spirit guide, they were not threatened by the spirit. They felt very comfortable with the spirit. And we told Hershe, listen, if he's looking for a new home, send him our way. Our family's welcoming him, and I think he's coming over. And I think if he finds his tribe, spiritual tribe, he'll stop making messes over at Hershe's house.
Me and Cosmic got him contained for right now. So for right now, he's in a safe labyrinth, and he can't hurt anybody. Well, he won't do any harm anyway. But he's not from this time. He's from a very lost, dead time in history, and I have to kind of keep him very protected. So me and Cosmic Blue Avian created a very safe place for him for right now. But he is the most purest white I've never seen a guardian angel this white. I've never met a guardian angel, but I have now met a guardian angel, and he is just intense. He is incredible. His Captain Ahmad, I believe, is his name, or something like that. He's amazing. I've never met a guardian angel, but he's in a safe place for right now. But he does have a attachment to somebody, and he wants to eventually go back to that person, but he also has grown an attachment for somebody else. So as soon as he fixes a frequency grid, because that's what he works with, he's an engineer in frequency as a guardian angel. So when he fixes that, he will be able to, spread out again. So right now he's working on his grids and stuff, and he will be right back out for all of the world to love and take advantage of. Well, not literally take advantage of, but you know what I mean.
Well, I recently had, a while back, I think it was last month, my little dog was down in the basement, just stiff as a board and staring at something and looking, and woof, woof. And she's a sweet little thing. She loves everybody. And I was like, what's the matter? What's the matter? And she kept looking, and I thought, what is that? And I told Tanya about it. And then she did it in the bedroom too, and said, and looking at the end of the bed and stiffen up and sitting on me, and would stiffen up and would not lay down. And I told Tanya, and she said, take a picture when that happens, or take a video when it happens. So I took my camera, it's dark in the room, Dale's sleeping, and I'm like, click, 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 click. And then I started taking a video of it. And there was it looked like a little creature at the end of my bed. And then up on the other side, it looked like some tall figure, but I didn't have a face, but I could see hands that was clasped. And then, but it was exactly where my dog was looking at. And I wanted to hit Dale and say, Dale, do you see? And we've had, like, when we've been talking about things where a light will fly from the closet out. And I was doing a video the other day, and Tanya said she saw some white light around me. I did a video in my room when the dog was doing it. And she goes, you got a discotheque in your room. Because there was like balls.
Oh, no.
This stuff happened before. And then just, when I started this last year, there was some guy standing over my bed. And I screamed bloody murder. My husband was doing laundry. He come running up the steps. He goes, what's wrong? And I'm like, there was a man right there. And he disappeared. And so I slept with the lights on forever. And then finally I went to sleep, and he left to go somewhere and came back in. And I was jumpy since I had. So I screamed, and scream bloody murder. He sounded like a girl. I said, what are you screaming for? He said, because, well, you screamed. You scared me. But
Do you? I can imagine that. Like, I can imagine, but I've always worked with the dead, like my whole life. Like, I can remember even as a child, like they've just always been here. I mean, now it's much more intense having walked with them and come back. So, like, it's blown wide open. So, like, there's no off switch anymore. As a child, it was, here and there, I'd see one or two or three, maybe four family, nothing major. And now it's just like they're everywhere. They're just everywhere. They're everywhere. You can't go anywhere without them.
I was
Like
going
the
around with
afterlife
my
is the
spray,
realest thing
spraying.
ever. Yeah. And it's amazing. But y'all, did you see what Michelle said? She says, "Do you know how it feels when you finally get a new pair of glasses and you think, holy shit, I can see." I didn't realize how bad it was before then. She says that's how it feels after working with Hershe.
Well, I can understand because I remember that feeling getting a pair of glasses for the first time. My sister was legally blind. She used to sit up to the TV with her nose to the TV, and she would get in trouble. Her eye doctor, mom kept taking her to this eye doctor, and he said, "Well, you spank her if she does that. That's a bad habit, or you swat her, or you know." And that was those days. And so she was getting swats and stuff, or sitting too close and pulled back. She was only 5. And they took her to another doctor, and they said, "I don't know what quack you took this baby to, but she will never learn to read. She can't see. She is legally blind." She had to hold everything like right here to her nose. And they made her the strongest glasses they have ever made a patient. Then they later made the strongest contacts to go with those, and still legally blind. She could only still see 8 inches after with both of those.
Wow.
So, but yeah, that just shows you times have changed. Yeah, you said, "I don't know what quack you brought her to," but she was always interested in this kind of stuff. And so she's my guide. She's the one who helps me make the oils.
I love it.
Oh, wow. Well, I mean, the producer tells me because some nights things happen. The dog will start barking 3:00 in the morning for no reason or something. And he's like, "You're bringing all these crazy spirits into the house." But you know what? I always tell him, but I said, but none of them mean us any harm.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. My brother, he's like, "You be careful, Deann. You're probably bringing spirits in your house, and you're going to bring bad spirits in your house." And I'm like, "Well, no, because I tell him get out. Like I'd tell somebody that didn't want to be here, get out."
All I can tell you is, honey, they're already here. They are here. I guarantee you, if I activated right now, I would count no less than 5 or 10 in each room that you are both in right now.
Really?
I'm telling you, they're already there. The afterlife, they're right beside you. Anytime a song crosses your mind, a feeling comes across your skin, your hair stand up, you get a cold chill, you get a funny smell, a weird taste, a thought, a smell from childhood. That is them touching you, brushing you, lifting you, blessing you.
But I don't
the
believe
afterlife is all around you. You live in a 3D world, not them.
I agree, Hershe. However, I don't believe any spirit that wants to cause harm or malice enters my home. I really believe my home is.
No. I need you to constantly believe that. Constantly, no matter what. Constantly. As long as your boundaries include do no harm, 9 times out of 10 you're safe. But there is the occasional asshole, and you would need to call, a Ghostbuster, and that's okay. It's happened. That's life. Life is just. But it doesn't.
I think this face probably scares them a lot more than they scare me.
What are the little black shadows that fly by? They go downstairs. My husband sees
those are shades. Well, typically they're called shades, and it's a process, and we can talk about it, not on a live, but shades usually mean do no harm. It's a creature, it's something else that created the shade, and it wanted you to see it so that you can start getting used to it or comfortable. Usually it could be a new familiar or just a new creature that wants to engage because you live next door to each other and it likes your energy, or you secretly are a magnet or a beacon and you're literally calling it to you and you don't even realize it.
Well, one of them likes to steal my stuff. I swear
that happens. It happens if it's shiny, makes noise, or if you're giving it a lot of attention and not them. They're going to take the object of attraction so that you would look for it and maybe get the chance to see them and interact with them usually.
That's cool. Well, I told PD we counted our cats, to our manifest bottles, and we had like 24 of them, and we counted them, put them in my desk, same spot. Nobody touched the desk, no kids. Dale didn't get into it. She came the next day. There was 12. Half of them were missing. I'm like, where'd you go?
That sounds just like Tut. I have a Trixie, and he is just that. Well, I said a Trixie. I mean a pixie. I have a pixie, and he is an ornery shit. And if there is one thing, if I say don't touch, he is running to it. He's running to it.
Yeah, my brother had a beer. He laid it down, went in the other room, gone. Nobody ever found that beer. So apparently the ghost liked beer.
That's funny. Yeah, it happens. They tend to want to take the object of attraction so that you come looking for it and ultimately, hopefully, take a chance on an interaction with them. Usually it's a fun and game. It's annoyance.
I had my spray like this, and I told PD, I put it in the middle of the desk. Put it right in the middle. Know where it could go, and the next day it was gone. And they said, did it fall? I looked in the drawers, I looked around, and so I asked my guide, I go, did one of these ghosts steal my stuff? And my pendulum said yes. And I said, will you please tell them to put it back? And the next day I went down, and it was on the desk.
Yep. Oh, absolutely. They like to play with. I leave stuff out. Like I have certain jewelry or stones or like pyrite or something. I tell them, this is yours. Leave mine alone. Now this is yours. You got your own. Or I'll buy 2 of something if it makes noise because they like it, because it's shiny or whatever. And I got like this little shadow box that's kind of like their little playhouse when they're not in their fairy realm or somewhere in one of the parallels or something. And when they come, I'll be like, I said, go to your damn room. And they get mad, but they will go to the room. And it's just something. I call it time and place. I give everything a time and place, no matter where it's at in my life. Everything gets a time and place. So when they start moving my stuff around, I will grab my Sprite juice, because that's exactly what it is. It's Sprite juice. And I will get the rubbing it on stuff, and they get the running. It smells just like lemons, and they can't stand it. So it backs them up away from me, from my stuff, or I'll put it on the corner of something. But usually, for me, most fairy sprites, fays, brownies that I've encountered when I have my Sprite juice on, they're like, ooh, you stink.
Maybe one of these days you guys will both come on with me to the paranormal thing, and we can hear it.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Anytime.
So, my dear friends, can you believe we've been on for almost an hour and a half?
I almost said the 52:52 again. Your timing is impeccable. But it's the 1 hour 52:52.
Yes.
Sorry to crash your party there.
No, you made the party. We loved it. It was like, I mean, listen, that's a good party, right? You have some people that come early and then have to leave, and then you have the other group that comes in and stays late.
I've come on with my hair in rollers and in my pajamas, so I figure it must.
Always.
Deann don't care if I brush my hair or not, so I wasn't even
at home with Deann. I ain't mad about it. It sounds wonderful, matter of fact.
I take that as a compliment.
You want to go grab my bonnet and just be like, I'll join you. I'll be right there. Just let me throw my bonnet on.
I really take that as a compliment that you feel so comfortable with me.
I do.
Be able to come as your authentic self. And that's what I preach. I always preach to people, be your authentic self. If coming out in your PJs to do your channel is who you are, if coming out has the dark side shadow reader who helps people go, that scares people, is your authentic self, be that. If you are the Akashic angel reader, be that. If you are an old drag queen, be that. Be you. And, because I think that's what makes this world so special. when you can be yourself and you don't have to be what society wants you to be or tells you you have to be. You know, I know, Deanna, we talk a lot about spirituality because
Yes.
both of us came from very conservative religious backgrounds.
Very.
For those who don't know, I used to be a monk. Can you
Yeah.
imagine? I used to be a monk, a drag queen monk.
And I've been
So,
baptized in every church there is to make
you know,
sure.
and we've had to go through our own spiritual healing and recovery, and we still are in some things. So we have to be our authentic selves and just be who we are, because I think when you're comfortable in your own skin, you can allow other people to be comfortable in their skin.
Yeah.
Most indubitably. Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. You know, I told, I'll say this one thing. I was talking, maybe I shouldn't, but I'm an open book, but I was talking to Tanya one day, and I get on here, and the thing that confused me the most is everybody was so accepting, and I want to accept, I love this, accepting people of all different kinds of people, and we're all just one. But the only thing is like, I've been to church so much all my life that I don't say usually universe, or I don't usually say source. I usually say God, or I'll say Jesus. And that's who I, believe in. But I believe in the one that is accepting and says not to judge and to love each other and to do unto others as you'd have done. But I feel guilty sometimes because I was talking to Tanya, and I said God or universe or source or whatever you say, because I don't want to make anybody else feel bad about the way they believe. But she goes, Deann, she goes, if you say God, say God. Don't
Absolutely.
worry about what anybody else, how they say it. Everybody has their own, you accept them, but you got to be your authentic self too. And don't worry so much about, like, oh, if I say this, people are going to, I don't want to make them feel like they're not accepted on my channel. Everybody is,
Right.
but
Right.
so that kind of made me feel, because we are a lot different, Tanya and I, but it's kind of nice. I love that we're different, but our differences complement one another, and we learn from one another.
Yes.
Yep. There's a lot of us that work so close in parallels, and we move exactly the same. We just don't look over, be like, hey, all you got to do sometimes is just wave. And that starts the starting of something that's much bigger, and you guys can do it together, and you can walk together, and you can grow together, and you can glow together. You can help build each other up. And that's the best part of it. And all it starts with is just saying hi.
Yeah.
That's the best thing.
Yeah, because so many people, Miss Terrell, there are people here in Illinois, if they seen you, they would immediately not accept you. They wouldn't even try to get to know you.
They would chase me out of town.
They would judge you. They would say things. There are people like, my friend Tanya, because, she, even where she wears her crown and she looks beautiful to me. There are people judge her, but I'm learning now, and I'm learning it from a lot of you guys, that don't worry about what people judge. You just worry about yourself. Be who you are, and everybody else gets to be who they are. We're all special. We're all different.
Right.
Yes.
It'd be boring if we were the same.
No.
Wouldn't it though?
You be you. It's your channel. I tell people, I have a friend. We went to elementary and high school together. We grew up together. And when she graduated, her and her high school sweetheart moved to Texas, where they've been ever since. And she's been a member of a Christian church her whole life, because when you go to Texas, everybody gets into church. And I tell people, she is to me the epitome of a true Christian.
Yes.
Because she's never, ever, ever judged me or my husband.
Shouldn't.
She always wishes us a happy anniversary, and she calls us husbands, and she recognizes our marriage and our rights as human beings. And I mean, there's not a judgmental bone in her body at all. And she has her prayer group praying for all the kids at my job and for me and my health. And I say to her, I said, you know what? You, to me, are what a Christian is.
Yeah. Jimmy Carter was too.
Yeah, Jimmy Carter. And it's, oh my God, yes. So, you know what? If
That's the kind of Christian I want to be. I
Yes.
want to be the kind that shows with love, not words, not judgment, not,
That's right.
you know what I mean?
That's
Just actions speak louder than words,
That's right.
you know?
And if people come to your channel and they get turned off because you say God, Lord, or Jesus, listen, then it's not the right channel for them. And you don't want them there. And you don't want them there because you're not there to debate with people on your channel. You're there to provide, love and kindness and support, not to get into a debate.
And if they're a Buddhist or they're Jewish or they're welcome. You know, we can learn from each other.
Right.
I can learn from them too.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
That's right. And you do you, woman. You do you.
I just love you. I wish I could hug you. And Hershe, I like your name because it reminds me of chocolate.
Oh, well, have all of it you want.
Yes. Yes. I'm gonna let y'all go.
Like chocolate in your mouth.
I'm gonna go grab a little bite to eat because then Heather is doing something at 8. And she asked me, she's like, since you already have your wig on, do you want to pop in? So
I'm sorry I kept you so long. I'm gonna go get me my dog too. I gotta get my dog something to eat. I'm gonna get my husband something to eat.
Yes.
And put my pajamas back on.
Thank you so much. And thank you to all the chatters. I've been watching the chat. You've all been really awesome people supporting each other and loving. Jane, who left, but she was one of the moderators. She put everybody's links up in the room. So thank you for doing that, Jane. Oh, look who's Johnny come lately, Miss Karen Johnson. Hello, my beautiful. But really, you two ladies are so magical, so beautiful. Thank you both.
Same here. And we'll have to have both of you guys on my channel and we'll do some readings or do some ghost stories or whatever you guys want. Because
you and I are going to talk and we're going to plan for next week maybe to do all about your website. We'll do
Might have to do the following because I got 3 shows going on in a class next week, but we'll figure it a day.
Sure, whatever
we'll
works
do
for you. And thank you again. All right.
You're
Love
welcome.
you guys.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.